Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Jensen. I'm helping Mrs. Devine with some of the social studies stuff that we're going to be talking about and working together through. If you've been following her plans that we push out each week, you've started to talk about economics, some of that vocabulary that comes along with economics. So we're going to expand that understanding, and we're going to use it to do an investigation. And we're going to break up this investigation over several days, but we're going to go ahead and start with this. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes. If you don't have something to write with or something to write on, grab something really quick, and for about 30 seconds, brainstorm items that you can find in your home. It could be food, it could be other products that are typically imported from other countries. So they're things that are brought in from other countries. Go ahead and write down as many items that you can think of. And if you need to pause the video, go ahead and do that. Okay, now I want you to think about two questions. I want you to think about, why do you think we purchase those items from other countries? And what are the pros and cons? So what are the benefits, maybe some of the negative things that could come from bringing in items from other countries? Again, pause and reflect in your notebook or your piece of paper or wherever you're writing in today. And pause the video if you would like until you have finished and are ready to move on. So the question that we're going to investigate are, where do bananas come from? So there's going to be different things that we walk through and look at as we go through this investigation. So I want us to take a look at this document here. Okay? This is the distribution of world banana exports. This is between the average between 2002 and 2006. So you can see around this pie chart, you have Ecuador, Costa Rica, Philippines, Colombia, Guatemala, and the rest of the world. So you can kind of see how those are broken down. Okay, so this is the distribution. Latin America and the Caribbean supply 70% of the world's exports. So those countries are most of those countries are growing and harvesting bananas and selling them to other countries. The 4 leading banana exporting countries in 2006 were Ecuador, Costa Rica, Philippines, and Colombia. That accounted for 64% of the entire world's exports, with Ecuador alone providing more than 30% of global banana exports. So you can look at that graph and see just the magnitude of, or the volume that each of these countries are contributing. Okay. Down here is another graph I want us to look at. So when we look at graphs in general, we always need to just make sure we know what it's explaining. What information is it showing? So we pay attention to the title, so that geographical distribution of USA banana imports from 1990 to 2007. So think about how many years is that. Okay. So then down here, if we look at the key, we have the different countries. They're color coded accordingly. So you can see in 1990, you have Colombia made up, it looks like about maybe 13%, maybe 12%. Then we have Costa Rica, Ecuador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, and the others. And you can see how that's fluctuated throughout the year. You can see which colors are greater in some years and less than others. You can see which ones are consistently pretty low which ones are consistently pretty great. Okay, so North America banana imports, so we import bananas. They come mostly from Central and South America on an open market basis, that is, with no tariff, taxes, or quantitative restrictions. Okay, so looking at this graph again, and this one. Okay. Now, if you have access to a printer, I would suggest maybe printing off a map of North and South America that looks like this. However, if you don't, it's fine. It's fine. This is more of an outline of Central and South America, so it can allow you to identify and label those 6 countries. So if you don't have access to a printer, which is okay, I want you to exit out of this presentation or pause this presentation and look up a map of those countries, like find a map of Central and South America and see if you can find those countries that we talked about up here. The Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico. Okay? That's all I want you to do today. Okay? I want you to get familiar with looking at this data again. I want you to find those countries on a map. Okay? And then when we come back tomorrow or the next time you continue this, the next part of this, we'll continue this investigation, having that understanding of where the bananas are being exported from. Okay? Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.